Okay, the last situation I'm going to take a look at is the Dallas Cowboys. And let me tell you, Kellen Moore feels like but a distant memory for these Cowboys. Definitely, they have some puzzle pieces that could resemble those high-flying offenses of the past, but it's not looking like this offensive coordinator hire in Brian Schottenheimer is proving to be a good one so far for the Dallas offense. I think the running game is fine. Tony Pollard, he's the focal point here and the safest piece of this puzzle. He is the running back 4 through 3 weeks. He leads the league in carries. He's 4th in yards, 3rd most yards after contact. Nothing to see there. He's basically a top 5 running back option the rest of the way if healthy. But the rest of the offense is what I'm really worried about here for Dallas. Dak Prescott. I mean, we don't expect an elite performer out of Dak Prescott, but so far he is the quarterback 22, and I think even that is below his standards as kind of one of those solid back of the top 12 tier quarterbacks. He's not even that this season. He's only got 3 touchdowns through 3 games. Now some of his game script has led to more reliance on that run game, which isn't good for his fantasy prospects. He hasn't cracked 20 fantasy points yet, and he's fallen barely even stream-worthy, like I said. After what was supposed to be a juicy matchup against Arizona in week 3, that was an absolute stinker, and they got beat by those Arizona Cardinals. Looking at Dak as a potential fantasy starter, you're sitting him the next 2 weeks. They've got New England this coming week and the 49ers the week after. So you leave him on the wire for now. You can pick up a guy like CJ Stroud to fill in. But yeah, Dak Prescott's not going to be a great start the next couple weeks. After that, they do get the Chargers. So that is a nice little bounce back. But we got to really see how they're playing because there could still be some better options there, right? Looking at the wideouts in Dallas, it's not been good either. We're used to multiple wide receivers performing, high-flying offense, like I said, big weeks out of these guys, namely Ceedee Lamb, but Ceedee has not been the top 10 wideout that we expected coming into the season. And it's not anything he's doing wrong. It's not really anything Dak's doing wrong because the efficiency numbers look all right. Among wideouts with 20-plus targets, Ceedee is 4th in yards per target, top 10 in yards after the catch. He's got over 42% of the team's receiving yards. And on the Dak side, Dak has a passer rating of 114.1 when he targets Ceedee, and almost 88% of Ceedee Lamb's targets have been catchable so far this year. So it's really just kind of the offense, the volume, and the quality of volume, really, because he's given you lots of the things that we want in that top 10 wideout, but the quality of volume's not been there. Those lucrative touches that I talk about. And for wideouts, that's deep targets and red zone targets. Looking at Ceedee, he's only got 2 deep targets on the year and 2 targets in the red zone. Jake Turd Ferguson is leading the NFL with 8 red zone targets through 3 weeks. And we look at red zone carries, Tony Pollard has 24 of those, which leads the league by 10 over second place Christian McCaffrey with 14. So I think these wideouts are capped. No cap. Did I do that right? I don't know. But looking at the other guys, man, like if CD's capped, then the other guys are capped too, right? These wideouts, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, rest of season. I think I lean towards Brandon Cooks turning into the better fantasy asset overall, but there's going to be some weekly fluctuation. Gallup, we saw in week 3, got those 7 targets. That's tough to trust too with them playing from behind and having to throw the ball in that game. They're not going to be doing that a lot with this defense, and 4 of Gallup's 7 targets were in the 4th quarter. Brandon Cooks got the higher snap share against the Cardinals, and in week 1, Cooks saw 4 targets to Gallup's 2 on just a touch lower route share in that week 1 game. Completely opposite game script from week 3, though. So I don't know if we know what this offense can be, but we do know right now that the pass catchers are ceiling capped, and Cooks and Gallup cannot be started at this point. Gallup should barely be on your roster, but I get it. I really like him, and I'm hopeful he can bounce back to something, but I just don't think this Brian Schottenheimer offense is going to be conducive to multiple receivers producing consistently from week to week. I'm fine with stashing them on the bench. I know Brandon Cooks, he's the new guy coming in. He's just coming back from an injury, so he could emerge. Stash him on your deep bench. Cooks more so than Gallup, but the leash is getting real short for these guys. Real short.